Good evening. It's now 5:31 p.m. Today is April 12th, 2022. This meeting of Georgetown County Council is being called to order, and I do see that we have a quorum. We will ask Councilman Carolina to give us the invocation and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come together asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Allow us to engage in meaningful discussion. Allow us to work closer as a council and nurture the bonds of our community. Fill us with your grace as we make decisions that will affect the citizens, businesses, environment, and the future of Georgetown County. Continue to remind us that all that we do as stewards over the land is for the greater glory of you in the service of humanity in Georgetown County and humanity worldwide. Our question should be, think, how can I be a better, more productive citizen in a society in a time when we are still deeply divided? In the past 2 weeks, America, South Carolina, and Georgetown County have experienced great accomplishments. Ketanji Brown Jackson, Associate Justice Designate of the Supreme Court of the United States, Dawn Staley, winning coach of the 2022 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, University of South Carolina, and Georgetown County's own Joseph D. Manigault on his induction into the South Carolina Basketball Association Hall of Fame. And we will continue to pray for peace worldwide. We pray for peace for all, and we ask of these things in your name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilman Carolina. And welcome to all of you to the Georgetown County Council meeting. We will move forward with the approval of the agenda. There's a recommendation to move item 9B, item 15A, and add report 17B to our agenda. With that being said, is there a motion for approval of the agenda with the noted changes?
Motion we approve.
It has been moved by Councilman Goggins. Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. With that being said, we'll move forward with proclamation honoring Joey Manigault.
Mr. Joey Manigault, please come forward, and family members.
You can approve it first. I want to read it first.
Okay. I'm going to read the proclamation and then come forward.
It's all right. Might as well have come in.
Proclamation in honor of Joseph D. Manigault. Whereas on a journey that began 33 years ago as an employee of Georgetown County Parks and Recreation, Joey Manigault began officiating rec league boys and girls basketball games. And whereas Joey Manigault progressed to officiating high school games and has been a basketball referee for the South Carolina High School League for over 20 years. And whereas this role requires an extensive commitment of time for training and officiating games not only in Georgetown County, but also in other counties, including Florence, Horry, and Charleston. And whereas Joey Manigault's dedication to the sport and the state have not gone unrecognized, as highlights of his career include refereeing 4 basketball state championships, 4 basketball lower state championships. Additionally, Joey Manigault has been named the Brian Fink Basketball Official of the Year for his district. And whereas the South Carolina Basketball Officials Association is an organization with a mission to train and develop basketball officials in South Carolina, aside from extensive knowledge pertaining to team rules, game mechanics, referee signals, and keeping abreast of rule changes, officials must conduct themselves in a professional manner at all times and be a positive role model within their community. And whereas the South Carolina Basketball Association is fitting to recognize members who, through meritorious service, have set themselves above the ordinary and have represented their fellow South Carolina basketball officials, as well as the South Carolina High School League in an exemplary manner, and these individuals are deserving of the highest possible recognition, including induction into the South Carolina Basketball Officials Association Hall of Fame. And whereas this distinctive honor is bestowed on no more than 4 individuals at a time, and most recently, the Association Hall of Fame Selection Committee has named Joey Manigault for induction into the South Carolina Basketball Officials Hall of Fame. And whereas Georgetown County Council recognizes that individuals such as Joey Manigault are a most valuable asset to our community. And with great honor, Georgetown County Council does hereby recognize Joey Manigault, who through hard work and dedication has exceeded the standards. Therefore, be it proclaimed, Georgetown County Council does hereby join the citizens of Georgetown County and others in extending a heartfelt congratulations to Joey D. Manigault. Upon being inducted into the South Carolina Basketball Officials Hall of Fame, you greatly deserve this honor and recognition, and it is with great pride that Georgetown County joins in celebrating your success. So shall it be this 12th day of April 2022 and approved by our chairman, Mr. Louis R. Morant. Mr. Chairman, would you come forth to?
Yes, as soon as we get a motion for adoption of the proclamation. Okay, is there a motion for adoption of the proclamation that is presented by Councilman Carolina?
So moved.
It's been moved by Councilman Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Councilor Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor of the adoption of the proclamation, please raise your hand. Opposed? Proclamation is adopted.
Thank you. Stay right there, George.
Okay. Okay, congratulations again to Joey Manigault. He's been in the Recreation Department a long time. We really appreciate all your services.
My pleasure. It doesn't seem that long.
Thank you. It's good to hear.
That's sad.
Am I looking at the right? Make sure here. Okay, we move on down to item 15A on our agenda, nonprofit spotlight, St. Cyprian Outreach Center. And we'll have a presentation by St. Cyprian Outreach Center site administrator, Ms. Crystal Gathers.
Good evening. Right. So first, I'd like to thank you for having St. Cyprian as your nonprofit spotlight. So St. Cyprian Outreach Center, next slide, started as a parish in the early 1950s, and it was an African-American Catholic church. And a lot of the children at that time, African-American children, went to school at St. Cyprian. The school closed and the Daughters of Charity came in, and at that time they started a food pantry and a social service office. Next slide, please. Our mission is to bring sustainability to Georgetown County residents. Those who are in need, those who are living in poverty, and those who just need that extra push. We are committed to assisting seniors, children, and families so that they can gain the tools and resources needed to live a sustainable life. Next slide, please. Our programs. We're known for our basic utility and rent, but we go far beyond that. Yes, we do partial payments of utility and rent, but we also have the St. Joseph's Family Care Program, which is aligned with Giuseppe Health, and it's a technology-based virtual primary care program for those without insurance. Those who come into the program receive monthly food boxes, financial services, immigration services if needed, and primary care. We have a senior food box distribution where our seniors get food once a month. We have a food pantry for those who are not seniors where they're able to come and get food quarterly. We have a mental health chatbot, Sister Hope, which is now known as Hope. People who are suffering from mental health illness, they can chat anonymously with Sister Hope, and it's a free service. We have a resale shop. We have the clothing closet that's attached to it. We assist children with backpacks and school supplies, and we do holiday assistance as well. And at that time, we give out clothes, coats, and household items to families that are in need. And our signature program is Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By world. Getting ahead in a just getting by world, it's where those that are in Georgetown County have the opportunity to come and join a class. It's 16 to 20 weeks. It's an average of 3 months. Those participants that come into this class, they build resources, and the resources that they build help them to get careers, to start businesses. Some finish school, getting their GEDs. So it's a program where it's benefiting not only that person, but it benefits their family as well. And we deal with 11 resources from financial, emotional, mental, language, social support, physical, spiritual, integrity, trust, motivation and persistence, relationships, and we talk a lot about the hidden rules. Getting ahead, it requires a facilitator, a trained facilitator. That facilitator will do a training, and they become certified to conduct these classes. We try to have 2 to 3 courses per year so we can have as many residents of Georgetown County as possible take a part of the Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By world workshop. It is a curriculum. We meet weekly for 3 hours. We offer incentives just to maximize our weekly attendance, and it has been working. And we do a lot of role playing, and we do interactive games as well with our participants. So, individuals served this fiscal year. We've served over 2,500 individuals. St. Cyprian Outreach Center has helped 400 individuals from becoming homeless by helping with rent or mortgage. We've helped over 600 individuals from utility disconnection. 750 individuals with food, and that's either through our food pantry or our produce distribution that we do quarterly. We've served 420 senior food boxes. We've made referrals for job training and to the Tidelands Charity Network. We've assisted 120 families with backpacks and school supplies. And last Christmas, we've helped 100 families with Christmas toys, coats, and warm clothing. Success stories. This is what I like the most. Through our Getting Ahead program, as you can see on the screen, this young man gained resources. This young man came from a family of poverty, but he was able to overcome through our Getting Ahead program. He used those resources and he started his own lawn care business. Our recent graduate, Miss Veronica, came to our Getting Ahead program. She was not employed. She did not know what she was going to do with her life at that time. She stated, I just want to do better for my family. Veronica went through our Getting Ahead program. As you can see, she graduated. Veronica went to truck driver training school. Veronica now has her CDL license and is currently doing on-the-job training where she's getting paid and doing more training with truck driving. That's my last slide. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to talk a little bit about what we do at St. Cyprian. I did give out some flyers and some Sister Hope cards. I hope that you would pass that along. And I just want you to remember on May 3rd through the 4th, we are participating in Palmetto Giving Day. And I hope that you can support us through your service and through your monetary donations if you are able to. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Gathers. And thank you for the services that you all provide for Georgetown County. It's a great service. We move on down to our public comment. A public comment period is included on each meeting agenda and shall be limited to 30 minutes. Each speaker will be limited to no more than 3 minutes. No speaker may yield his or her allotted time to another speaker. Members of the public who wish to address council during the public input period should sign up with the clerk of council before the meeting is called to order. When your time has expired, there'll be a buzzer which will go off, and we ask that you promptly conclude your statements at that particular time. Madam Clerk, is there anyone signed up for
Mr.
public
Chairman,
comment?
we do not have any speakers signed up tonight.
No speakers? Okay. Okay. We're moving down for the approval of minutes then.
2 times this year so far.
Yeah, you've done a good job.
Good job.
Okay.
Find some people.
We move on for the approval of the minutes from March 8th, 2022 meeting. You've had the opportunity to look at those particular minutes. Is there a motion for approval?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from March, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Goggins. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Councilman Anderson. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. The following matters included on the consent agenda have been approved by virtue of the agenda approval process. Proclamation number 2210, procurement number 22-008, procurement number 22-026, and airport agreement with U.S. Air Force, Shaw Air Force Base. We'll now move down to our public hearings. Our public hearing will be on ordinance number 22-11, an ordinance to adopt the revised housing element of the comprehensive plan. The floor is now open for public comments. Is there anyone here to speak on a public hearing regarding ordinance number 22-11? Seeing none, the hearing is now closed. We move down to our resolution proclamations. Proclamation number 22-08 to proclaim Antoine Maybank Day in Georgetown County. Our public information officer will present this resolution.
Mr. Chairman and Council,
Proclamation.
as you all already know, Mr. Maybank is not here to accept this tonight, but he will be here next weekend for some wonderful public festivities that we're having. He'll be giving an educational speech on success for young people on the 22nd, and we'll be dedicating the track and field complex at Beck Recreation Center in his name on the 23rd, which is a Saturday, and hopefully you'll all join us, and Mr. Maybank will be here. So going along with all of those festivities, we would like to proclaim the 23rd Antoine Maybank Day in Georgetown County. So I will read the proclamation now. Whereas Antoine Maybank grew up and attended schools in Georgetown County, and whereas his dedication to track and field elevated him to the world stage, winning gold in the 1995 World University Games and the 200-meter dash and the 4x4-meter relay, and whereas he then took home gold again at the 1996 Olympic Games in the 4x4-meter relay, and whereas Mr. Maybank transitioned out of professional sports to work in public relations in Paris, yet still maintained ties to the community, and whereas upon his return to the United States in 2007, he continued a fast-paced multitasking career while still consulting for the city of Georgetown to improve community health, and founded his own strength training business in Wilmington, Delaware. And whereas he has dedicated much of his life to positive youth development and motivation, and whereas the track field at Beck Recreation Center will be named in honor of Antoine Maybank during the ceremony on April 23rd, which Mr. Maybank will attend. And whereas the Georgetown County Parks and Recreation Department will also organize a day of family-friendly events and activities on the track surrounding the ceremony. Now therefore it be resolved that the fourth Saturday of April shall be known as Antoine Maybank Day in Georgetown County. And I believe that Ms. Goodall and Mr. Wallace are here to accept the proclamation.
Thank you. You've had a chance to review the proclamation and listen to Ms. Broach as she read it into the record. Is there a motion for approval of for adoption of the proclamation?
Mr. Chairman, I move for adoption of proclamation number 22-08.
It's been moved by Council Lady Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Carolina. Any discussion? All in favor of adoption of proclamation number 22-08, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations and thanks to Antoine Maybank. I think we're going to Ms. Langston for resolution number 22-12.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, County Council. This resolution is required by the grant to allow the county to seek reimbursement for the Sandy Island Ferry. It's kind of a formality.
Okay. I think council members have had an opportunity to review that particular resolution, number 22-12. Is there a motion for adoption of resolution number 22-12?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved by Councilman Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goggins. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Proclamation number 2213, Ms. Broach.
As you are also aware, April is National County Government Month. And so we would like to have a proclamation in honor of that and all that our staff does in Georgetown County. I will apologize in advance because this is a long proclamation. Are you certain you want me to read it all?
Yes, the county does a lot of work here. I think the public
Okay.
needs to know what we do.
I will not be held responsible then if you guys fall asleep.
Sure, that's fine.
All right. Whereas each year since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties across the country to elevate awareness of county responsibilities, programs, and services. And whereas Georgetown County provides a wide range of essential services to its more than 62,000 residents with an eye to fiscal preservation and promoting the health, safety, knowledge, and welfare of residents. And I just realized I missed a couple of bullet points. We're going to go back, I'm sorry. Whereas the nation's 3,069 counties serving more than 315 million Americans provide essential services to create healthy, safe, and vibrant communities. And whereas counties provide health services, administer justice, keep communities safe, foster economic opportunities, and much more. And whereas Georgetown County and all counties take pride in our responsibility to protect and enhance the health, well-being, and safety of our residents in efficient and cost-effective ways. And whereas, under the leadership of National Association of Counties President Larry Johnson, NACO is demonstrating how counties thrive, especially in supporting residents and businesses during the coronavirus pandemic. And whereas each year since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties across the country to elevate awareness of county responsibilities, programs, and services. And whereas Georgetown County provides a wide range of essential services to its more than 62,000 residents with an eye to fiscal preservation and promoting the health, safety, and knowledge and welfare of residents. And whereas Georgetown County has made great strides over the past year to perform more efficiently and better serve the public, including redesigning the county's website to create a more user-friendly experience and make it easier for residents to find information about their local government, enhancing public information efforts with new equipment, creation of a public information team, and increased use of video outreach, adapting operations across departments to remain viable and productive during continued difficulties presented by the COVID-19 pandemic, revamping and improving the county's programming provided for senior citizens, making significant improvements at the county airport, including recruiting new businesses, repaving the runway, building new hangars, and attracting more air traffic, making alterations to financial processes to improve efficiency, opening of a new, long-awaited, and now heavily utilized track and field complex at Beck Recreation Center, opening of a new library branch in the Sandpit Santee area, plus renovation of other facilities, including the Marsh Walk, revamping design of the comprehensive plan to make it more engaging, understandable, and user-friendly for the public, making greater efforts to preserve our environmental resources through updating and enhancing the county's tree protection ordinance, embarking on county planning initiatives to manage future growth and development, and putting a greater emphasis on keeping our communities clean through numerous neighborhood programs. Oh, out of breath. Adopting new county redistricting maps and ensuring ample opportunities for community involvement in the process, making technological strides across departments, including improving cybersecurity, allowing electronic recording of property records, and moving registration online for parks and recreation programming, creating a recruit training school to more efficiently and cost-effectively train new firefighters and EMS staff, entering into partnerships that will help expand broadband services in rural areas of the county, obtaining nearly $20 million in grant funds for county projects and initiatives, recruitment of new businesses and industries, including sale of the county's spec building at the County Business Park in Andrews, and receiving the Outstanding Safety Achievement Award from the SC Association of Counties for efforts to improve cyber safety awareness. Now, therefore, it be resolved that Georgetown County does hereby proclaim April 2022 as County Government Month and encourage all county officials, employees, schools, and residents to participate in celebrating county government.
Thank you. You've done a wonderful job. And I think it's important for that to be read so that the public can know that the county does provide services to the community, and we're being transparent. They always ask for transparency, so there you have it. So I think it's a good thing. Thank you. Is there a motion for adoption of proclamation number 22-13?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you again, Ms. Broach, for reading it. Appreciate it. We're moving down to third reading of ordinances. Ordinance number 21-41. We'll have our attorney, Mr. Morgan.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, members of council, good evening. Tonight, you have before you third reading of an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a second amendment to an existing fee in lieu of tax and incentive agreement that the county has between itself and G2 Composites LLC and Eagle Commercial LLC. Both G2 and Eagle Commercial are successors in interest to the original project sponsors, and the county entered into the original FELO agreement back on October 22nd, 2019, and executed the first amendment on April 13th, 2021. The ordinance and second amended agreement is required due to the expiration of the time period for commencing construction and the prior agreements. And the revisions also include a commencement and completion deadline, and there's also added a county consent right should the developer, so if the developer leases any of the buildings for less than $6 per square foot, that would trigger the county backstop. And then what would happen is the county did not have that right to consent before. So in sum, the edits before you this evening make the terms more favorable to the county. And as it's noted, a motion to amend will be required at this third reading to incorporate the proposed amendments. If there are any questions, we'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Any questions for our county attorney? Okay, is there a motion for third reading approval of ordinance number 21-41?
So moved.
It's moved by Councilman Thomas. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Goggins. Is there a motion to amend to incorporate the revised text?
I move to amend the third reading to incorporate the proposed amendment.
It's been moved by Councilman Thomas. Is there a second?
Second again.
Second by Councilman Goggins. We will vote on the amendment. Any discussion regarding the amendment, I should say. Any discussion? All in favor of the amendment, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll go on to vote on the main motion, which incorporates the amendment. Any discussion? All in favor of the main motion with the amended revised text, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We move down to ordinance number 22-12. Ms. Richardson.
Yes, sir. Ordinance 22-12 is a request from Beth Roberts to rezone a 1 acre tract from FA to R1/2 acre. This parcel is located at 12036 Pleasant Hill Drive in Georgetown. If you'll remember, this parcel contains 2 residential structures on 1 lot. There are no changes since we reviewed this at second reading. I'll remind you that the future land use map designates this property and all the surrounding properties as low-density residential, and the current single-family use is permitted in both FA and R1/2, and there is no change needed to the future land use map to facilitate the request. The Planning Commission held a public hearing in February. There was no one that came forward to speak. The commission recommended approval unanimously, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Richardson? Hearing none, is there a motion for approval of ordinance number 22-12?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve ordinance number 22-12.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's moved by Councilman Newton, a second by Councilman Carolina. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. We are going down to second reading of ordinances. Ms. Richardson to ordinance number 22-11.
Yes, sir. This is an update to the housing element section of the county's comprehensive plan, in order to comply with the guidelines that are mandated in state law. This element was last updated in 2010, and this is our newest revision. Under the comprehensive planning process, the Planning Commission has to review the element and vote on it by a majority vote to prepare a resolution for your review. And then County Council, as we did tonight, has to hold a public hearing and adopt the element by ordinance. You have the final formatted document in your packet, and we also sent you today the document from earlier that showed the red line changes, so you could follow along and see exactly what was different in this version from the previous. In working on the document, we did receive input from the Planning Commission, of course, the Association of Realtors, Habitat for Humanity, United Way, the Water and Sewer District, and the Waccamaw Regional Council of Governments. And those revisions are included in the document in front of you. We also used the housing needs assessment that was completed back in August. I think some of the information there should be very familiar to you all from that. We have also included some of the recommendations that we discussed with you at a previous workshop back last fall. You will note that some of the information in the original document has either been removed or reformatted in some way. We tried to make this a little more user-friendly. We provided some of the information in charts other than tables that were hopefully a little more pleasing to the eye and easy to read. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on February 17th. No one came forward to speak, and the Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of the document. I did want to quickly just touch on a few highlights from the document. State law requires that we do an analysis of existing housing, which is included. We also have to address affordability in the document, so you'll see quite a good bit of language about that. We also need to make some statements about the projection of housing needs in the future. And we're also required to do an analysis of our local regulations to see if they hinder affordable housing in the county. The census numbers that are provided in this document are based on 2019 data, the 5-year American Survey estimates. Also, for the first time in this document, you will see the Waccamaw Neck and the rest of the county broken out. For some of our categories, we thought that might be usable information since we do have significant differences between the two. So we do have some census numbers broken out in those two different geographic sections. Again, the housing needs assessment is referenced throughout. We talked a lot about the percentage of owners and renters that are cost burdened in our county. There is a new graph there on page 9 in the document that shows you how the existing workforce salary, what cost of house it enables them to buy compared to what the median cost of housing is in our county and what that discrepancy is. We also looked at our local regulatory barriers to affordable housing, things such as impact fees, the presence of heirs property, and the need for family subdivisions in our county. We talked about things like land cost and environmental factors and how they affect affordability, as well as our zoning regulations and things like density limits, setbacks, platting requirements, and how they affect affordability in our county. Finally, the most, I think, important section of the document is the goals and strategies section, which you can see there. We did add some new ones, and I think the majority of the new ones that were added are also things that we discussed again in our workshop with you, dealing with heirs property, improved requirements for mobile homes, accessory dwelling units, a new incentive district for affordable housing. And we also added some potential work with neighborhoods on code enforcement issues. There was an existing goal about improving existing neighborhoods, so we added some goals there as well. Finally, I wanted to thank Judy Blankenship from my staff, who did a large amount of the work on this document. We also had an intern, Daniel O'Hara, who helped us with this, and the Planning Commission members themselves. They looked at this document several times since basically last December. And also Jackie Broach from administration, who worked on the reformatting of the document. I think it's a great improvement over the previous one. And I'll be glad to answer any questions you have.
Normally, what is the frequency that the housing element is updated? Does it track with the census, or what is the frequency? Did you mention the last one that was done was 2010?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So this would be a little bit late, but the 10-year required update.
Okay. Within your study, to help us, Georgetown County, zero in on particular things like heirs property, have we named partners that would also be part of this solution here, such as the Appleseed Justice Center and the heirs property preservation?
Yes, sir. The goals and needs section does have an area for partners. I don't know if partners is the word used, but participants that would be sort of responsible for each goal. And certainly, these are not goals that planning staff can attack by ourselves. So we have referenced partners such as the Center for Heirs Property that you mentioned.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Richardson, wasn't there a workshop or some type of shop held with the Center for Heirs Property to discuss that
Yes,
particular
sir.
issue?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. We felt very successful. We had about 75 people or more in attendance at Howard. The Center for Heirs Property came. They did a presentation on subdividing your preparing a will or dealing with heirs property once it exists and how that could be handled. And they signed up probably 20 people for free legal sessions, and they held some right there after the meeting. They're also going to do a free wills clinic in October, which we'll get you some information on. So I think we've built a good connection there, and certainly those folks do good work.
Okay, so the county has already taken some steps to fulfill the objectives of the comprehensive plan.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question on that. Have we got a way, if we're going to focus on this heirs property thing, which we should do, have we got some way to put a metric on it so that we can see how we're doing and have a plan to gauge ourselves against maybe a 10-year plan or something? Is that possible?
We do have, there is a number in this study, and we got the estimate, and it is just that, an estimate from the assessor's office. We are estimating about I don't remember the exact number, 750 tracts of heirs property in Georgetown County today. So we certainly could reassess that number over a period of time and see if that has reduced significantly.
I'd like to see us do that so that we can keep track of how we're doing, because we continue to struggle with heirs property.
Any other comments or questions for Ms. Richardson? If not, is there a motion for adoption of ordinance number 22-11?
So moved.
Been moved by Councilman Carolina. Is there a second?
I second it.
Second by Councilor Johnson. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Thank you, Ms. Richardson. Motion carries. We will now move into executive session to consider briefing regarding economic development matters pursuant to SC Code annotated section 30-4-78.5, and also to discuss a personnel matter pursuant to SC Code annotated section 30-4-78.1. Is there a motion to move into executive session to discuss those issues?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Newton. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Anderson in Carolina. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. We are now into executive session. We are returning back from executive session. Is there a motion to move into, well, to move out of executive session, I should say?
So moved.
It's been moved by Councilman Newton. Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Councilman Anderson. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed? Okay, we're now back in open session. Now, please note that we entered executive session to consider briefing regarding economic development matters pursuant to SC Code annotated Section 30-4-7085, and also to consider personnel matter pursuant to South Carolina Code annotated Section 30-470A1. Please note for the record also that no votes were taken while we were in executive session. Is there any further business to come before council? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Anderson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Newton. Any discussion? All in favor of the adjournment, please raise your hand. Opposed? Motion carries. We stand adjourned. Thank you.